So, AEW will die this Sunday with their All Out pay per view. AEW will die a horrible death this Sunday with their pay per view. Unless. I'll get to that in a second. It's around close to 9 a.m. here in New York City. I just came home from work. I should be sleeping right now, right? I got a lot of things I need to take care of in the afternoon, but I needed to get this off my chest. You already know the rumors. You already know everything that's going on in AEW. I don't have to tell you. You guys are smart enough to go on any other wrestling podcast out there and they can tell you the news through Fightful Select or Dave Meltzer or whatever the case may be. You're not going to get that from me. You're just going to hear what I got to say. AEW will die this Sunday. I think it's like 2 years ago to the day in which the WWE and AEW first went head to head around this time. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I don't even remember. I'm going to assume that it was 3 years ago. Didn't WWE had like a UK NXT pay-per-view taking place on the very same day as All Out? And I remember talking about this with people on social media saying this is going to be a war. And they're like, there's no war. It's not going to happen, you know? Fast forward to today, up until, let's say, around April, right? We'll say up around April-ish. AEW was firing on all cylinders. They were bringing the very best from the WWE over to AEW, and they were coming out with banger matches after banger matches, and Vince McMahon had no idea what he was doing for his product. A lot of people wanted to leave his company and join AEW because it was the place to be. This is where you have freedom, creative freedom to be who you want. It's all inclusive, all right? No one's micromanaging you. No one is, talking down to you or making you feel very insignificant. Fast forward to today. The roles have been reversed. Now, Triple H is the guy in which everyone from AEW wants to come work for, exactly. All right? He's the guy that can make you a star. He's the guy with the brilliant wrestling mind. He's an expert on professional wrestling. He has been a multiple champion in that industry. He's done shows all over the world, stadium shows, in the biggest selling point in professional wrestling, the WWE. Seen it all, done it all. Who would have thought that Vince leaving the WWE could end up being the demise of AEW? Why do I say that AEW is going to die this Sunday? Well, let's be honest with ourselves. We're in the middle of a civil war here. You have the original AEW faithful, the Young Bucks, Omega, Hangman Page, best friends, all those guys who are in their little cliques, the Dark Order included. And then they're going up against the ex-WWE guys, the professionals, the guys who make the big money. You're talking about the Jerichos, the CM Punks, the FTR, to name a few. Right? You had all that. And it just trickled down to a complete mess. And now you're going to add Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker into this entire situation. You got Britt Baker acting like the modern day Charlotte Flair, right? You got Thunder Rosa not knowing who to trust in the locker room anymore. The whole thing's a complete mess. And Tony Khan, he's so nice and he can't lay the hammer down on some of these people and say, this is not going to happen on my watch. I love Tony Khan. I feel that he's a good man. I feel that he means well. And I know from the bottom of his heart, he wants to bring the best product out there for a wrestling fan because he is one himself. But if we're going to be real and honest here, Tony Khan's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Not only he's an idiot, he's too prideful at being an idiot. He has way too much pride in himself to admit that he needs help. He needs some serious help in terms of booking a wrestling match. He needs to hire people who are wrestling minded, who can book matches, who can tell the wrestlers who will be featured, who will not be featured, and create storylines that are going to captivate the audience and, completely allow us to enjoy the product, over and over again. But he's not doing that. And I think I know why he's not doing that. It's because he's being manipulated. He's being manipulated by the Young Bucks. And sad to say, he's also being manipulated by Kenny Omega, as well as Hangman Page. Because those men would burn the entire organization down in order for them to stay relevant. Because coming into AEW, they felt that they were the hottest thing going on in professional wrestling. And they were going to change the business for a lot of people, which they did. But not for the better. But as soon as the Cesaros, the Miros, the Malachi Blacks of the world started showing up, especially with FTR, they're starting to realize that their style of wrestling does not generate to the modern person anymore. That their style of wrestling is what everyone says, a gymnastics routine. And they're getting sick and tired of it. They're getting sick and tired of the blood. They're getting sick and tired of the language. They're getting sick and tired of the goofiness that comes from the Young Bucks and Omega. They're getting sick and tired of the kiddiness that comes from the Young Bucks and Omega. While you got stars like Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Wardlow. I mean, you got a lot of great talent in AEW. On paper alone, the talent can rival the WWE any day of the week if they were booked properly. If they were booked properly, they would have been on equal terms with WWE. Hell, they probably would have won most nights. They did in the past. But here we are on the brink of destruction for an organization that we used to call home, that we loved. AEW. This all started with April. Cody Rhodes left the company. The only man in that locker room who actually has a deep, thought out wrestling mind that can help captivate the audience. And as soon as he left, Tony Khan had no idea what the fuck to do. And then you buy a Ring of Honor, and then you keep all the other talent hostage, and now you're introducing title belts after title belts. 3-way, 6-way, 4-way, mixed tag. I mean, my God. Everyone gets a belt. Everybody gets a belt. You hold off the trios titles just so Kenny Omega and the fucking Young Bucks can face against Hangman Page and the Dark Order. Because that's what they wanted. Because the Young Bucks basically do not want a job to FTR. They know that they are not the best tag team in wrestling. And it eats them alive. It eats them alive completely that they have to go to the airport on social media, things like that, and realize that all of the attention is on FTR, and they have done every single thing in their power to make sure that FTR does not get any buzz, does not get any heat, does not get anything. Ice cold. 2 matches FTR had with the Briscoes, and they were match of the year candidates, and none of them were shown on AEW. They were shown on ROH's pay-per-view. Because for some reason or another, the executives of Turner do not like the Briscoes on AEW. I don't know why, but here we are. But let me be quick with you. The reason that AEW will die this Sunday is because Clash of the Castle. Remember when I told you before about Triple H and how him running things have changed the whole dynamic of the WWE forever now? Slowly but surely, a lot of people are starting to watch Raw, SmackDown before they were like inexcusable. Like no one will ever watch Raw. No one will ever dare watch SmackDown. Now, they're getting themselves invested in it. You got Bayley, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai. They're doing fantastic. Johnny Gargano just came back. Karrion Kross. You're going to have a banger of a matchup taking place on Saturday between Sheamus and Gunther, formerly known as Walter, in the UK, in Wales. This is going to be a UK street fight. Dude, it is going to blow the roof. Oh, I'm sorry, there is no roof in that stadium. It is an open air soccer stadium. And my guess, it will fill around at least 90,000 people. I could be over-exaggerating, but you don't over-exaggerate on football stadiums, soccer stadiums in England. They will fill up to the brim. And they've been marketing this from the very beginning, and it's going to be amazing. And I hate to say it, it's going to be a spectacle. And I say a spectacle because it's going to be on the very same weekend AEW has their All Out pay-per-view. And what exactly is on that card that's worth watching? In Clash of the Castle, you got Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, in which I hope Drew McIntyre wins the title. That's going to be a big moment right there. What do you have in All Out that's going to be worth something? Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks? That's the only match I actually kind of wanted to see. And I say kinda. Because that should not be the only thing I wanted to see, because I don't even know about the rest of the card, because the rest of the card completely sucks. Swerve and Keith Lee versus the Acclaim for the tag team titles? No one wanted that. No one was envisioning that for All Out. You know what they were envisioning? The Young Bucks versus FTR, round 3, for all the belts on the line, in which FTR will beat the Young Bucks and become the AEW Tag Team Champions. You know why that didn't happen? Because the Young Bucks do not want to job to FTR. So they create this elaborate scheme to give away the title to a bunch of nobodies, lose all their heat completely, and they clean the dirt off their hands. Meanwhile, they're going to be awarded the trios tag team titles with Kenny Omega like it's such a big fucking deal. And I probably would have been all up for it if they were facing the House of Black, but they're not, are they? They're going to be facing the Dark Order. Whoopie fucking do. Stupid. Thunder Rosa lost a lot of steam. I don't even want to see her on TV anymore. It's not her fault. It's the way that she's being booked. I don't even care about what woman will actually win the title because, in my honest opinion, Chris Statlander should have been champion a long freaking time ago. Why is she not champion? I have no fucking clue. Oh, I'll tell you why. Because Tony Khan's an idiot. He had every chance to pull the trigger on Chris Statlander and Jay Cargill, and with Chris Statlander being the champion. But you know what? Even if Chris Statlander even won the title from Jay Cargill, where's the end game in this? What new storyline did he have in store for her? He'll probably burn her just like he did with Thunder Rosa. Britt Baker is the only one who knows how to carry herself, and that's fine. And may I remind you that we do not have a main event for All Out, right? Moxley and Punk happened. So what? On Wednesday, Punk is just going to magically come out and says, you know what? I was hurt the last time, but I'm ready now and I can beat you and All Out. So we're going to see another version of this. We don't give a shit anymore. You destroyed the Mystique with that, Tony Khan. You destroyed the Mystique with that. Why do I want to see it again? Why would I want to pay $50 just to see the damn thing again, where I could see a huge spectacle of mammoth proportions in Cardiff, Wales for only $4.99 on the Peacock? Free if you have Xfinity. Tell me why. I could use that time on Sunday to watch Game of Thrones. I don't need to watch All Out. Nothing on this card has interested me enough to saying, oh, I gotta watch All Out. I gotta watch the pay-per-view. Nothing. And it's because Tony Khan has a very horrible booking. He doesn't know how to take care of his wrestlers. He leaves a lot of them out, a lot of the good ones out, and it's just a complete mess. We now know that the entire locker room is divided. They don't like each other. They don't even want to work with each other. So it's gonna be crap. It's not even sold out yet in Chicago. Oh, well, it's not even sold out yet. Last year it was sold out in 90 minutes. This year, they couldn't even sell out in 90 days. Same for the stadium show in Queens, in Arthur Ashe Stadium. They're not sold out either. AEW is going to die this Sunday. Unless two things happen. The first thing is Tony Khan admits to himself he has a come to Jesus moment sometime this week and realize I gotta find myself a booker. I gotta find people who could be able to work, deal with the wrestlers, come up with the matches, and actually bring some storytelling, actually bring some type of relevancy into AEW that will make us want to be well invested in it again. That's not going to happen because Tony Khan is not only an idiot, he's too damn prideful. He feels that he can do it all. He feels that he can do just about anything, and that's the problem. He's never going to admit it. He won't admit it. And the people who are with him, those AVPs, they're going to keep on manipulating his head to the point that he's just going to destroy himself from within. And that'll be the end of AEW. So that scenario probably won't happen. The second scenario, however, can happen. Will happen and must happen. MJF. I cannot believe in this day and age, I am talking to you people right now and saying that MJF needs to be the one to save us from this bullshit. MJF needs to save AEW. He needs to. If he has to go to the WWE once his contract is up, so be it. But before that happens, he needs to be a champion. He needs to be the one to challenge Jon Moxley to a championship match. Make that the main event at All Out. He beats Jon Moxley. He wins the title. And that is it. Then you have MJF with the AEW title. And he can come up with his own storylines. He can come up with his own feuds. He can come up with everything that he can think of. Until CM Punk is well enough to do a program with him again. AEW needs CM Punk back. And if we don't get a glimpse, a possibility of MJF in Dynamite or on Rampage, then it's over. It's done. And you know what saddens me is that I have been the biggest defender of AEW since its very beginning. I hated the WWE. I hated everything about Vince and Bruce Pritchard and the corniness, which is the WWE. And I had to defend it with e-drones, idiots, who think that their product is so much better. Now I can't even say that anymore. Now we're the Vince McMahon of this entire industry. Now the AEW fans can't say anything. The e-drones are walking around parading with their heads up high, waving the banner. And you know that they're going to let us have it. They're going to let it have it. Whoever you are out there on YouTube, if you ever shitted on a WWE fan and you're an AEW fan, after Sunday, don't go on social media anymore. Do not go on social media. Do not engage. Do not defend your product. Do not even watch Dynamite. You don't deserve it. Tony doesn't deserve it. The whole organization doesn't deserve it. If they can't give us MJF, if they can't give us something that's going to captivate the audience on Sunday, then they might as well be dead, because I don't know what else they can do. They have done so much damage in such little time. It's just amazing. It's surprising. I don't know how they're ever going to recover from this. If they don't bring MJF, what's the point? What is the point of us even watching AEW? What's the deal? There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing going on in AEW right now that will get me interested into wanting to watch All Out. And I'm saying this as a diehard AEW fan. I don't know what the card is. How is it a week before the biggest pay-per-view of the year and you don't even have a card completely set up? Yeah, you have a card, but it's not the card that we wanted. That's not the card that people are going to spend $50 for. No. This looked like something that you just ruffled up at the last minute, and that's about it. I'm sorry that the majority of the hot wrestlers that you had to come down with serious injuries, so they could not drive it home this summer. But now it's time for you to really step up, put your big boy pants on, and do something about it. Because on Sunday, and this is going to be a day where the majority of people have already watched Clash of the Castle, and they're going to be talking about how great Clash of the Castle is because it's a Triple H production, and Triple H is going to hammer it home that they are the organization to beat. And just so what he says is nice and clear, NXT has a pay-per-view at 4 o'clock on Sunday, right before AEW. So by the time AEW All Out shows up on Sunday night, the majority of wrestling fans will already be exhausted by the amount of excitement that they had with Clash of the Castle and NXT's Worlds Collide event. What is there for them to sink their teeth into that will make them want to watch All Out? They're not paying money for All Out. They're not going to pay money for that unless MJF faces Jon Moxley in the main event and MJF wins the championship. Then you get your buzz back. Then you get your storylines back. Then all of everyone will be talking about AEW. So, can you believe it? MGF coming back and winning the championship. That's what needs to happen. And I'm sorry for me to ramble on and on about this, but it needed to be said. Now, for all of you, hey, like and subscribe. I like comments. Tell me. Tell me exactly how you feel about this. What you think needs to be changed. Am I talking bullshit or what I'm saying is true here? Let me know, people. Until next time, this is Bainbridge Omega saying so long. And for the record, Bainbridge Omega is not a homage to Kenny Omega. It's my own brand.